In 2014, a bold and ambitious vision emerged in Malaysia, a futuristic city designed to be a massive hub of innovation, luxury, and technology. The project was named Forest City, and its promise was nothing short of grand and eco-friendly, tech-savvy metropolis stretching across 4 artificial islands off the southern coast of Malaysia. This megacity, built by the Chinese property developer Country Garden, was meant to be a living testament to China's Belt and Road Initiative, a strategy to connect China with global markets. The project had the backing of both Chinese and Malaysian governments, along with the aspiration to house up to 1 million residents from around the world. Fast forward to today, and the once promising vision has turned into a shadow of its former self. Forest City is now widely regarded as a ghost town, with only 15% of the planned development completed and a mere fraction of its residents. This ambitious undertaking, which once held the potential to redefine the region, has now become a cautionary tale of overambition, financial mismanagement, and global uncertainty. Let's explore the rise and fall of Forest City, examining the reasons behind its struggle to come to fruition and the unlikely hope for its eventual revival. The beginnings of Forest City, a vision of grandeur. The story of Forest City begins in 2013, when China's Belt and Road Initiative was unveiled. The BRI aimed to create a global infrastructure network connecting China with various parts of the world, similar to the historical Silk Road. In the following year, Country Garden, China's largest property developer, launched Forest City in Malaysia as part of this grand strategy. The location was carefully chosen, the southern state of Johor, positioned strategically to act as the gateway to Southeast Asia, much like Dubai is for the Middle East. Country Garden envisioned building a series of high-end, eco-friendly residential spaces, luxury skyscrapers, waterways, shopping malls, golf courses, and vertical green spaces. The idea was to create a futuristic paradise for both the ultra-wealthy and ordinary citizens alike, blending technology, luxury, and nature. The design of the city was ambitious, to say the least. The 4 artificial islands would span a total of 30 square kilometers, more than double the size of the Los Angeles International Airport. The islands would be home to a blend of commercial and residential spaces, schools, and state-of-the-art facilities, all guarded by drones and surveillance systems. The goal was to make Forest City not only a place to live but also an experience, attracting wealthy citizens from around the world. At the time, China was in the midst of a massive property boom, with investments flowing into real estate both domestically and internationally. The prospect of a city that blended eco-friendly living with cutting-edge technology and luxury seemed poised for success. The decline of Forest City. What went wrong? By 2023, however, the promise of Forest City had failed to materialize as expected. Only 15% of the project had been completed, and a mere 1% of the development was occupied. What was once envisioned as a thriving metropolis had become a sprawling ghost city. Of the 4 islands, only one had even begun construction, and it was far from completion. Around 26,000 apartments had been finished, out of the planned 700,000, with many units sitting empty. The island's beach was deserted, and most of the shops, restaurants, and malls remained abandoned. Forest City had failed to live up to its original vision. Why did this happen? Several factors contributed to the downfall of Forest City, including economic pressures, political challenges, and unforeseen global events. Economic pressures. The most immediate issue was the project's financial viability. In the years following the announcement of Forest City, the Chinese government imposed tighter capital controls, making it harder for potential investors to move money out of China. This was a huge blow to the project, as most of the early buyers were Chinese investors who saw Forest City as a secure investment. With a minimum apartment price of $170,000, which was significantly higher than the average house price in Johor, around $60,000, the market for local buyers was limited. By 2017, 75% of the properties in Forest City had been sold to mainland Chinese buyers, with only 10% of the sales going to Malaysians. However, the influx of Chinese buyers slowed significantly due to these restrictions. Many of the properties were purchased for investment purposes, with the hope of renting them out or selling them at a profit, but the lack of demand and high cost made it an unappealing option. Political and legal challenges. The political landscape also played a key role in Forest City's failure. In addition to the capital controls from China, the Malaysian government decided to impose restrictions on visas for mainland Chinese citizens. This made it more difficult for potential investors and residents to buy property and settle in Forest City. As a result, sales started to decline, and Country Garden's stock price took a significant hit. Further complicating matters was the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020. The global travel restrictions and lockdowns severely impacted the project, preventing potential buyers from visiting the city and further dampening sales. Environmental and infrastructure issues. In addition to economic and political obstacles, Forest City faced environmental concerns and infrastructure problems. When Country Garden began construction in 2014, the company did not conduct the necessary environmental impact assessments, which delayed the project significantly. Local stakeholders, including the governments of Malaysia and neighboring Singapore, raised concerns about the effects of land reclamation on marine wildlife and local fish stocks in the Johor Straits. The environmental damage caused by the reclamation was significant, with mangrove habitats destroyed in the process. Furthermore, the area's biodiversity was severely affected by the construction of golf courses and other developments on previously protected land. Forest City also faced logistical challenges, such as its location. The project is relatively isolated from the capital city of Johor Bahru, with only one road connecting the islands to the mainland. In 2023, this road collapsed due to a sinkhole, leaving maintenance workers stranded for days and highlighting the infrastructural weaknesses of the development. A glimmer of hope. Can Forest City be revived? Despite its troubled past, there is still hope for Forest City's future. The project's financial difficulties have not deterred Country Garden from pushing forward. The company has scaled down the original project, reducing it to around half of its planned size, but they remain adamant that the city can still be completed. The Malaysian government has shown renewed interest in the project. The country's current Prime Minister, Anwar Ibrahim, has proposed offering multi-entry visas, a flat-rate income tax of 15%, and the creation of a financial zone within Forest City to make it more attractive to investors. Additionally, the Sultan of Johor has promised a fast-speed railway linking Johor Bahru, Singapore, and Forest City, which would significantly improve access to the area. While the project's future remains uncertain, Country Garden has found a new target audience. Instead of focusing solely on Chinese investors, the company is now courting buyers from the Middle East, Indonesia, and Thailand. These new markets could provide the boost Forest City needs to eventually fill its empty buildings and fulfill its potential. The future of Forest City. The story of Forest City is one of ambition, setbacks, and uncertainty. What began as a grand vision for a futuristic metropolis has now become a cautionary tale of overambition in the face of economic, political, and environmental challenges. While Forest City remains far from completion, there are still efforts to revive it, and with the backing of the Malaysian government and potential new investors, there may be a chance for it to come to life. Whether or not Forest City will ever achieve its original vision remains to be seen. But one thing is clear: the road to completion will not be easy, and the project's future will depend on overcoming the many challenges that continue to hinder its progress. And there you have it, folks, the rise, fall, and uncertain future of Forest City. What started as a bold dream has turned into a ghost town, but could it make a comeback? Only time will tell. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the most bizarre real estate projects in history, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more mind-blowing stories. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one.